is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. We got a battle report for you today. We are doing Death Guard, which didn't change at all for the points update, and we have Chaos Space Marines, which did change. This is a prior game to the points changes, but he really only got, I think, 25 to 30 points extra, which obviously he'll just add another Nurgle unit or whatever it may be. But we're going to talk about it picture by picture, turn by turn, how to get better at the game of 40k. If you guys are new to 40k Dirtbags, we're so close to 10,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe, do all the YouTube shit. But what we got coming up on the channel is we're going to Lone Star Open. So if you guys are heading out to Lone Star Open, me and Mike are actually going to be heading out there. It's in Texas in July, I believe. We have ACO, Atlantic City Open, will be there for that as well. We have Nova Open, that's in DC, and our last one, we're going to LVO for the year to wrap up the ITC rankings. So I placed second in Chaos Space Marines last year. This year, we had a lot going on. We got married, we got a house, and basically upgrading the house a lot. So I'm not really super competing for the top spot this year. Next year, definitely. But this year, we're trying to get as much content and get you guys better at 40k, especially with all the codexes coming out in 10th edition. So a lot coming up in 2024. But we got merch up on the page. So with the merch, we have actually 6-inch widgets now. They're pretty fucking sick. So they are 6 inches, 2 inches, 4 inches, 1 inch, and then they pop out to a 3-inch, 1-inch, half-inch. So we use them every single game. If you guys are new to widgets, you should be using them because there's no argument when you guys are measuring. You can always pull it out and be like, oh, I'm within 6 inches. Great. And you need a 5-inch charge, you know, so there's no argument between two players. Then we got the models for proxying, Codiez, 2 Space Marines, and the Assassin, plus the dice. They're $1 each. They always roll 6s, I'm just kidding. And then all the stickers in the world. So if you guys want to join Discord, that's where you place your orders, and all the memes in the world is over up on the Discord page. So Patreons, thank you so much. Wouldn't be doing this without you. We are so close to hitting our goal of 1,000 a month. Once we hit that goal, we're going to be giving away a huge giveaway with a bunch of models, merch, everything you guys need. We did it last time once we had 500. It was super awesome. A lot of stuff we gave away. And this time I'm starting to gather up a bunch of new stuff to send out to you guys. So that's coming up once we hit $1,000. But let's get into the game. We're going to go over first the lists, which I was super excited to test out this list. I'll tell you what happened the first turn once we get to it, and then we'll get into turn by turn Death Guard versus Chaos Space Marines.
All right, today we got Mortarion, 2 bloat drones that have the flamers on them, 2 predators with heavy bolters and the autocannon, 2x3 Death Shroud, 1 with the sorcerer, 1 with the typhus. We have 2 characters, the Putrefier and the Foulblight Spawn, 10 Plague Marines, 1 Plague Burst Crawler, 1 Land Raider. First time using the Land Raider with Death Guard. That's why it's painted as Grey Knights. 1 unit of Death Guard or Death Guard Cultists, and then 2 Nurglings. So 2,000 points. What do we got today?
Abaddon, 5 Legionnaires. We have 2 Vindicators, 1 Forge Fiend, 2x5 Chosen with 2 boards, 3 bikes, 2x3 Nurglings, 2x10 Cultists, 2x2 or 2x5 Warp Talons.
These guys look so good on camera.
Thanks.
Like the blues just stand out so much.
Alright guys, so those are the lists. We're going to get into the battle. So if you look to my right here, these are turn by turn what missions we picked. This is the board setup. So we have our Dirtbag, Rexar lasers just set up. So it's all the Rexar lasers things. I think he's giving an option to have closed windows. So we just play them closed. Like when you see this big opening right here and this big opening right here, we just play them closed. And then everything else is basically like 2 inches, so you can walk right over it. But if you guys are interested, these are $40 for the plastic, and you can get etching on top of it. Just leave the Dirtbag code in the description, and that way you guys can buy them and get free shipping over $50. But this is the setup. We changed it up a little bit from what we normally do, and this is our deployment. So with this is actually after my turn 1, but our deployment which obviously I didn't take the deployment picture. So the deployment, I basically started everything in the back here behind this cover because his shooting is just crazy. He actually started the Forge Fiend and the Vindicator on the table because of the terrain setup. So he just can't get shot from here. I only have one Plagueburst Crawler, which isn't going to one-shot a tank, so he doesn't have to worry about it. The mission we played was Priority Targets and the one where you have to play 4 in the center, which is cool because we have Sticky and, you know, I probably should have taken Cleanse. That would have been a lot easier. And if you hold 2, you get 10 points. If you, at the end of the game, hold more, you get 5 for each objective at the end of the game. Or at the end of, yes, the end of the game. So our turn 1, we happen to go first, which Death Guard, I definitely love going first, just because you can set up and get some sticky objectives going. So our Nurglings, they started in the center. These are his Nurglings right here. So they always start in the center, so that way in case you get aerial denial or investigate signals, deploy teleport over, stuff like that. Not investigate's in the corner. But they start in the center. We got 2 chosen with lords in the Rhino over there, bikes all the way on the side over there, some cultists in the back on the objective to make it sticky, Vindicator, Forge Fiend, Abbey, Warp Talons, the other Warp Talons in Deep Strike, and then another, and this is my Nurgle unit over here in case we get investigate signals or cleanse on this objective. So scout move, we put our cultists up 6. And then they're heading up here, so I wanted to kind of get them to move up and then get a charge off on the Nurglings to stop the Nurglings from doing a action. If you can stop Nurglings from doing free points, that's kind of the goal. And if you have Nurglings, you want to do free points. So Nurglings are one of the best 40-point units in the game. So if you can stop them from, you know, scoring, that's the goal. They're really good at tying tanks up, which I love doing. So that moves up. This thing moves up. The Rhino moves up. So everything basically advances forward. So Morty moves up, just trying to stay out of line of sight of the Predator or Vindicator right there, because that thing will munch me. This thing moves into the combat so that way he can get the shots off. Our turn 1, we actually pull Assassinate and Engage in all fronts. So I couldn't really get Assassinate because everything's covered. And then we have Engage in this corner over here. We have the Nurglings up there and back here. So we get Engage on 3 corners. I couldn't get anything in that back corner back there, so wasn't really going to try. So we get 3 points turn 1. We had to ditch Assassinate for a CP. His turn 1, he gets no prisoners, which is great for him, behind enemy lines. So my dude scooches up over here. I have the 2 Predators spread out over here. Morty right in the center, so that way he gets the 6-inch aura. Land Raider with the Plague Marines right here. Another Flamer dude right here, and the Predator, or the big guy back here. So we charge his Nurglings. His Nurglings sit on 2 wounds after the charge, and then everything basically hops out. So the Warp Talons hop out. He has an option of either charging this guy to try and kill it, or charging these guys and try and kill them. Now, he's got a ton of shots coming out of the Rhino right here, so the Rhino can kind of get some shots off. He's got a bunch of little guns here, which can finish them off. And then Abaddon stays back there to try and stay safe from the Plague Marines, fight first, all that fun stuff. Bikes over here. I think they either stayed or scooted off, because if you bring the bikes off on turn 1, you can't come back on the end of turn 1. So example, if the bikes come off at the end of your opponent's turn 1, you can't bring them in turn 1 because they go into strategic reserve. So you can bring them in turn 2. So sometimes you want to just keep them on because you probably deployed them defensively. And then after turn 2, you can bring them back on bottom of turn 2 or turn 3 or turn 4 or turn 5. So going to strategic reserve, you can stay off the board going from strategic reserve if you started on the board and then go into strategic reserve. The reason you do that is because let's say you don't need them to come in one turn, or you got blocked out like the entire board, well then you can just hold them off one turn, and then the next turn you can bring them back in. Or rapid ingress if you really want to. So that's the benefit of being into strategic reserve. Some models you have to come back on the next turn, like Grey Knights and Assassin, stuff like that. So it tells you have to come in the next movement phase. So his Chosen get out, 1 squad. So he launches his Chosen out of the Rhino. He keeps 1 squad in the Rhino. They're Slanesh, so they can advance and charge. Or they're Slanesh, or they're undivided. Are they undivided? I'm not sure if they're undivided or Slanesh. They're probably undivided because they can get the full rerolls to wound. But Chosen get free advance and charge anyway. So they can advance and charge and shoot out of the Rhino, which makes them so scary coming out of the Rhino. So he's thinking that he can get some charges off on either the Land Raider or Mortarion. Now the Chosen going into Mortarion, I definitely think he can do a ton of damage to him, especially with the full rerolls, and he can do lethals with Dark Pact. So I'm hoping he kind of just ignores my dude down here so I can get some points on turn 2. But the Predator's there, other Predators there, they're pretty safe, which they do so much damage with Death Guard, especially in the infantry. So after his charging, he basically gets, he moves up the Vindicator. Vindicator had line of sight to my Land Raider, and the Forge Fiend had line of sight to the Land Raider. So, and also obviously all these guys and grenades and all the fun stuff. But we bring the Land Raider to test out the Land Raider with Death Guard, and it did not go well. I don't know if I was just too aggressive. Fucking full rerolls with Abaddon against Chaos Space Marines are just too good, but it died. And it died hard too. Like, it wasn't even close. So D6 damage from the Predator doing the explosions on 5s, just full rerolls. It's insane. So basically, Land Raider dies turn 1, so I don't even get to test it. The guys have to get out. So how I get the guys out is I move them on the left side and behind this cover. So if I put him on the right side, he would have shot me with the Forge Fiend. Yes, so I think that was his goal. The fucking Vindicator shot the Predator, or the Land Raider just murders it. All these guys over here were waiting to charge them inside the Land Raider, and then this thing was going to try and blow up the 10-man squad, which Forge Fiends just murder 10-man squads like it's his job. So I stayed out of line of sight because of the Land Raider's huge footprint right here. I was able to get most of the guys outside 3 inches behind this wall, and then the other ones behind this terrain feature right here. So that way the Forge Fiend couldn't get line of sight to me, which was great. So that actually helped out. If he would have nuked the Land Raider and all of the Forge or Plague Marines turn 1, it would have been a really, really quick game. But still, losing 250 points turn 1 is not the best, especially without him doing anything. So Chosen, move up here. Nurgling there, these guys there. So these guys charge over here. First he charges the Chosen. Now I have 2 CP, I have 3 CPs, technically. So he charges Mortarion. I countercharge. So when he gets his charge off, he charges Mortarion. I countercharge, spend 2 CP, and I actually make that charge because the guys are starting basically right here. So when I countercharge, I basically charge in. I fight first. So then obviously we just kill the entire fucking squad. I don't know if he procced Final Death. I don't know if he had the CP or not. But he did do some wounds to Mortarion. Mortarion's down to, I think, 12 or whatever is behind his wing right there. So Mortarion did take some wounds. He might have fought on death and then procced like all the Demon Hammer for the Lord's abilities. And then these guys charged the Blow Drone with the Predator. So he tied up the Predator and then charged the Blow Drone. Blow Drone dies. Yeah, so I was shocked, he was shocked, but he fucking charged the Blow Drone with these guys, and these guys actually managed to kill it. AP2, so I have my 5-up save, and I think he rolled like 1,000 5s, so they get, what, 5 attacks each, plus 1,000 5s, that's a lot of attacks. So he murders my fucking Blow Drone. So that was great. I don't think I get to fall back with anybody. Now, his turn 1, he gets 5 for no prisoners because he kills the Cultist, the Blow Drone, and the Land Raider. And then for behind enemy lines, he was able to get the Warp Talons back here behind enemy lines. So now we just shot him in combat with our Predator and killed him, finished him off last turn. So that was turn 1. Turn 2, we get 10 points. So we held the backfield objective, which is sticky. We had this one over here, and we had that one. So it's only up max 10. But we still had these 2 up here, and we had this one over here. We get Cleanse and Storm Hostile Objectives. So he doesn't control any objectives that we can get to. The only one was back here, which he's protected by basically everything. And Abaddon standing right next to him. So for our Cleanse targets, we wanted to cleanse these 2 down here. So I think I came down with the one Terminator squad with Typhus. Typhus then spots off at his Rhino over here with the Predator. So the Predator and Typhus help kill this Rhino right here to try and stop the launching point for the Chosen. So you can do a cleanse and still do his ability. It's like the same with Vortex of Doom. You can basically fall back and do it. You can do an action and do it, because you're giving up your shooting, but it's not a shooting attack. So you roll 2+, d6 mortal wounds. We basically finish off that Rhino with the Predator helping out as well. Predator, I think, put the big shots into the Vindicator, and then all the heavy bolters and little shots into there, and then Typhus finished off over here. This was my mistake right here. So see Morty right here? Morty's not doing anything this turn. He's basically just waiting to kind of buff up the army, ignore all the modifiers. He literally should be back another inch behind this cover. Now, if he's back another inch behind this cover, he can't be shot. You're about to find out why I fucked up right there. So he's got still, what, 16 wounds left? 12, yep, 16 wounds. This guy scooches up to get line of sight onto the dude over here, but he is Nurgle, so it's going to be really hard to shoot him. These guys come down on this objective. I don't know why I brought them down on this objective, because it's only a hold 2. So basically, if I just control these 2 objectives for the rest of the game, I basically am going to max out primary. So I didn't need to bring these guys up top here, because they're not going to kill Forge Fiend. If I make the charge, yes, it's good, but then you're relying on a 9-inch charge. We did proc the once per game ability from the Sorcerer, which I fail every fucking time. Excuse my language, but the Sorcerer is just never good for me. I know it's super cheap, has the ability to just proc a ton, but it's I guess you bring him mainly from melee. If you get him into melee, it's -1 damage. But anytime I use his offensive shooting, it just doesn't do anything. Now again, I'm going into a vehicle, so I'm running him on 5s. I should probably go into infantry and try that out. But we got 3 of these guys down here. He overwatched, killed one of them on the descent. So there's 2 left with my Sorcerer. Nurglings are still over there waiting to do some type of action. Predator scooted up here to get line of sight onto, I believe, the Rhino potentially. So him going this way, or he probably couldn't move. This guy couldn't move because of the Warp Town. So he basically just sat there and just killed the crap out of the Warp Towns. And then these guys are all just waiting. So if I scoot up, he's going to overwatch me. So basically I don't move. So the Forge Fiend can't overwatch me, and then since I didn't move, these guys came down, so we overwatched those guys instead. Now Mike loves Overwatch. I don't like Overwatch. I think with Forge Fiend it's the best Overwatch target, because you get so many blast shots. So 10-man thing, you get 3d3 plus 6 blast. So it's a ton of shots, full rerolls, exploding on 6s with the Abaddon. So that's probably why the Forge Fiend is one of the best ones to Overwatch with Abaddon. So our turn, we cleanse with those 2, and then Storm Hostile, we couldn't storm anything, so we ditched that one. His turn 2, he gets 5 for primary because it holds his backfield objective, and then he gets Extend Battle Lines, which is usually an easy one, and then a Tempting Target. So Tempting Target, obviously I'm going to pick this one. So he has to try and come at me, which these Chosen, if he comes at me, he's going to have fight first, but he's about to shoot me with a Forge Fiend, so that's going to hurt. These guys come out. Try to tempt the target and extend. He has to control one of these objectives, so I think he should have just ran over to here to get extend, I believe, with the Chosen. So basically move up, charge whatever's left, leave one guy on this objective. You probably don't even have to charge. Like, maybe you could just advance over here, and if you get there, you're good. If you advance and then don't get there, you charge like this character, and then you leave one guy over there, maybe the Lord, just so he doesn't die. So that probably would have been good for extend the prior turn. So he doesn't get extend, but this is his movement. He brings in the Vindicator over here. The bikes come back on over here. Abaddon is still chilling right there. This Vindicator is lined up to, oh shit, what happened to Morty? So, Chosen are there, Cultists are back there. So he lines up the Vindicator, both of them, to get line of sight to either Mortarion or to get line of sight to the Terminators over here. So this Vindicator right here killed it himself. So exploding on 5s, it's strength 14, so you wound Mortarion on 3s. If you roll d6 plus 3 blast, so let's say you roll 5 attacks plus 3, you're shooting 8 times, you're hitting on 3s with full rerolls. I did smoke them, so you're hitting on 4s, full rerolls, and then exploding on 5s and 6s. So you have a 33% chance of exploding with full rerolls. So let's say you get 8 shots, your first explosion is going to add an extra 2, and then your next explosion is going to add an extra 3. So you're basically up to 8 plus 5, 13, minus 2 misses. So you're looking at fucking 13, 11 hits. And then wounding on 3s, so you wound 11, let's say 7 times. So he wounds me 7 times. I fail 5 out of 7 4-up saves. He then wounds me 27 damage. I then fail my 5-ups 25 times, at least 16, right? So he just demolishes Mortarion with one go from the Vindicator. So the Vindicator now in this game is like 190 points. They're now 175 points. So thank you, Games Workshop, for one-shotting Mortarion with fucking Vindicators. And I apologize for the language. I am trying to slow it down. I played baseball my entire life, all through college, and it's just dugout talk. So I apologize. I'm trying to get it better at it, but we are the Dirtbags. So one shot Vindicator into Mortarion, murders it. So then makes me have nightmares all the time since then, and I try and stay away from the Vindicator. Forge Fiend shoots 10-man blob, kills 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, kills 6 of them. So kills 6 of my Plague Marines down here. I don't know if he's still within coherency. I might probably put another guy back to keep them in coherency. These guys are still safe. The Predators are safe. This guy's safe. Yeah, it's brutal. And then they murdered these 2 Terminators over here. The line of sight couldn't get onto the Vindicator because I removed the one farthest away, and he lined up line of sight to that guy. So he's now not in line of sight anymore from the Vindicator, but the bike still came on and just Dark Pact, Plasma, Overcharge, all that stuff into the rest of them. Abby's still chilling back there. So his turn, he didn't get extend because he wasn't able to control any of these objectives. And then he got 0 for tempting target because he couldn't control that. So 0 on secondaries on turn 2 from Mike. So that was a brutal turn 2 for Chaos, even though he killed Morty in one shot. Turn 3, we get 10 for primary. We get capture enemy outpost and aerial denial. So how the hell are we going to capture his enemy outpost with a Vindicator? And I guess that's it. So he only has the Vindicator on that objective. Let's see what we can do. So this guy scooches up 10 inches. Terminators scooch up a little bit. This guy gets line of sight onto this tank and Abaddon's unit. This tank moves up and gets line of sight onto the I think I have this tank as well, so I'm not sure if that line has the tank or I'm just going into the Forge Fiend over there. And then Plagueburst Crawler stayed there. Warp Talons, Rapid in the corner here to try and steal my backfield objective with the Nurglings camping it. These Nurglings are just behind the wall over here. Alright, so we got sticky, sticky, sticky. Now we have to try and get over this objective by using a charge. So we line up a bunch of shots, and then we get the charge off on the Terminators. So Terminators charge in. We shoot everything into Abaddon's squad, and we kill Abaddon's bodyguard, so that helps out a lot. I think he Nurgled the vehicle, so that way I was able to shoot Abaddon's squad instead. And the Predator just murders fucking infantry like it's his job. This guy has 1 wound left. Wasn't able to kill it. 8 wounds left, 8 wounds left, 1 wound left. These guys don't move again because he's gonna overwatch me, which I should have just taken it. I mean, they're just gonna get shot next turn anyway. So that I was just too scared of the Forge Fiend. He basically had a beat on me the entire freaking game, which is good for him, bad for 10-man Plague Marine squads. So we get the charge off on the dudes over here with this guy, with this unit. He's not there. I think I would use him as a proxy. And then the thing. So if I finish off this unit, I'm able to pile on to the objective. And if I can get there with Typhus and the squad, then we can try and steal this backfield objective. So we get this on the objective, and then we get Typhus and this guy on the objective. I think we're measuring out to see the OC. So we actually steal the enemy objective on turn 3 by finishing off the squad and then consolidating. And then this guy had a huge charge, so he charged in the back of them. And then since there was nobody left, he basically consolidated onto the objective. And then aerial deny, we were able to get wholly within 6 with our tank over here. So his turn 2, he gets 0 for primary, brutal. Didn't have anything on the top, any in the center, and then the Warp Talons came down here to fight the Nurglings down here. So 0 for primary, which was awesome for Death Guard. But 0 for primary. He kept extend battle lines because that is one of the easiest ones to get. And then he picks engage on all fronts. So he drops a Nurgling down in this corner for that quarter. Warp Talons are over here fighting this quarter. Bikes come in over here to take this objective and get that quarter. And then he's got most of his army still left in this corner. So he gets 5 for engage and then 5 for extend because he controls that one and his home field objective after he basically wipes the squad with these guys. The Abaddon scooches up. These guys move out of the way from Abaddon. And Abaddon makes the charge into my vehicle. I think Abaddon fails his charge. So Abaddon's there. He probably should have moved this way behind the cover and then charged through the wall. But instead he moved up behind the Vindicator and then fails his charge. So Abaddon's kind of just chilling back there. 2 Vindicators are back here. They shoot and basically kill everything but Typhus. So Typhus is the only one left. Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't kill this guy. So he kills my squad, but Typhus is the only one left with this guy over here. He moves up, charges the cultist in the back here, kills the cultist. Typhus moves up, does the 2d6 against Abaddon. This thing moves up and just murders Abaddon within 18 inches, so Abaddon can't Nurgle. You could do it, -1 to hit, which he probably did. So still, all of those shots going in Abaddon, I think we killed him to the wound. First, we did the 2+ with Typhus, so he has no saves to that. So I think we did like 2 or 3 mortal wounds. And then these guys, this thing killed him to the wound with Abaddon. This thing was going to advance up and do a free grenade, but he was out of range of both targets. Predator moves up, gets on the objective, shoots the bikes over here, leaves 1 on 2 wounds. Warp Talons finish off the Nurglings down the back corner here. These Nurglings are still waiting there to do some secondaries. Plaguebear's Crawler moves up to try and defend this objective. And so we still have both of our tanks. The big Plaguebear's Crawler back here, no threats to those guys. It was mainly my Plague Marines and Mortarion. And then we're using the Terminator characters and the other quick 10 speed guy to kind of be the front attacking. So on turn 4, we get 10 for primary. We get secured Investigate Signal, which I didn't really have anybody in the corners. So I spent 1 CP, got rid of Investigate Signal. We got Secured No Man's Land, which we automatically have. And then behind enemy lines. So we have both of these guys behind the enemy lines for 5 points. So we got a good turn 4. 10 for primary and then 10 for secondary. His turn 4, he finally gets 10. So he has my backfield objective, and then he has this top objective, which I think he spent 1 CP for the bike, so he doesn't fail. Because if you fail, you lose 5 points. That's not worth it. So spend 1 CP, auto pass the bike, get that, 10 points. Good. Secondaries. He gets Storm Hostile objective and Defend Stronghold. So he's probably not going to get that one, but he has to storm a hostile objective. So he has to take over any one of these objectives. So what is he going to do? I guess he has more OBSEC on the backfield objective, this one, than Typhus. So he basically just scooches up around here, shoots this thing, and then gets on the objective to get Storm Hostile objective. So pretty simple for that one. And then he gets 5 for that. So Defend Stronghold, he doesn't have, so he's going to ditch. And then last turn, we get 10 again for primary. We get Bring It Down, so we have to try and kill his tank, and Deploy Teleport Homer. So again, easy on turn 5, because we have Typhus up here doing a deploy. We have the Predator shooting the shit out of this thing. We have the Plaguebear's Crawler shooting the bikes, Predator shooting the bikes. Can't do anything about these guys. They're just chilling on my home field objective. And then we get 15 at the end for primary. So our primary was stacked. We had 10, 10, 10, 10, 15. So we had, I mean, look how many objectives we have. So primary is pretty good for Death Guard the entire game. So after the primary game, we had to go into our secondary. So his turn 5, he gets 10 because he controls this backfield, and one of the bikes was still on there. Couldn't finish him off. And then he gets, of course, captured in the outpost on turn 5, which he has with the War Talents. And then the last one was Investigate Signal. So Investigate, I think his Nurglings finally came into play in his back corner. So he gets 1 Investigate Signal in the back corner. He gets captured in the outpost, so great turn 5. And then at the end of the game, he gets another 5. I'm sorry, he gets 5 because he had this one, and then he gets 5 again at the end. So he had 10 for primary at the end of the game. So final score, this is the end of the game right here. End of the game state. We got 100 for Death Guard, 68 for Chaos Space Marines. So for primary, we had 50 out of 50, 40 out of 40, and 10 out of 10 for Battle Ready. And then for him, he got 25 out of 50 for primary, which we held him to a 0 on turn 3, which was great. And then 33 out of 40 for secondary. So this was just a brutal game on both parts. He killed Morty, like, we both were, holy shit, 27 damage to Morty. Crazy. And then with the amount of objectives and only having to hold 2, the thing that I would have changed was basically hold these 2, try and stay out of line of sight as much as possible, not put Morty on a freaking terrain feature right here, which then he was able to be shot at. And I think he used the Terminators more defensively instead of more aggressively. Like maybe deep strike them behind this wall and then come out if I need to on the objective, but kind of be more defensively with them rather than just put them in the center of the objective and try making that inch charge. Not really reliable. Like I did better with Typhus and the squad over here defensively, doing an action and then moving up and stealing that home field objective. If I didn't have Typhus to do that, I would have got that 8 points on turn 3. Predators were great. In Death Guard, they're even better because they're AP1. They go to AP2 because they're infantry, and then go to AP3 because of the -1 to their save strat. So AP3 bolters is no joke. AP3 autocannons, and AP2 on basically everything else. Like the bolters and the combi weapon and stuff like that. Like that is insane. So I really like this list. If you guys are interested about using this list, the Land Raider, use it more defensively. Use it as like a launching platform, and then shoot with it later on. But I definitely did not understand the Vindicator, and I do now. So just watch out for the Vindicator. If you can get line of sight anywhere from the Vindicator, don't move there. So the Land Raider scooching up, staying behind this little cover. And then next turn, scooching up 5, dropping them off, and then charging would have been what I did. So that would have been the changes for Death Guard. Chaos, they got an extra, 15 points here, 30 points. Cultists went down 10, that's 40 points. Legionnaires went down 10, that's 50 points. Bikes went down 60 points. What else did he have? Forge Fiend stayed the same. Yeah, so his list got basically an extra 60 points, give or take. And I told him to try the Predators, so I'm not sure if he used the Predators or not, but the Predators are just insane at killing infantry. So maybe 1 Vindicator, 1 Predator, 1 Forge Fiend, so basically 1 of each. That would give you some, options on what they're actually focused to go after, and play Abaddon more defensively. So Abaddon was in this cove the entire time, so I couldn't shoot at him most of the game until turn 3. Which then if he would have put all of his Legionnaires up here, he's still within 6 inches of the Forge Fiend, still within 6 inches of the Vindicator, and then so he's given the free rerolls, but then he can't be shot at. And I'm probably not going to charge Abaddon's squad, so he was afraid of like me charging with anybody. But Morty only has 5 attacks. If I kill his Legionnaires, he then just picks Morty off of the table. So I think if Abaddon's here, he can then use Abaddon as a launching point through the wall to either advance and charge, make a dude advance and charge, or just make a guy move up 6 inches with the Legionnaires. He moves 5, and then you charge, whatever you want to kill. So I think that would be the only change for him, is Predator, another Nurgle unit, move up in the terrain and then stay behind the wall. And he really loves like this is a really versatile unit. This army list is really good. I think on both sides, this was a really competitive game on both parts. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys are interested in getting some coaching from the Dirtbag Nation, we have $10 a month for coaching. It's always good to have a coach in your corner, no matter what you do in life. So having somebody that has played the game a lot, all over the world, all over the country. I haven't been out of the country yet, but all over the country, just asking questions, ideas, lists, tactics, anything just to bounce ideas off of. That's what the competitive Dirtbag's for. Grandmaster, you get a lot more. We actually go over turn by turn, picture by picture, call once a month if you guys need to kind of set up for a RTT or GT, and then you get, you know, special limited edition Dirtbag dice as well when you guys purchase some stuff from the merch, and you get special battle reports you want to see. So this was actually a battle report one of the Grandmasters want to see Death Guard with the Land Raiders, so we tested it out because of the Grandmaster, so that we get to see it played on the battletop, and we do live battle reports on patreon.com on Mondays. So appreciate you guys. Good luck with everything. If you're interested in the widgets, hit me up, and we'll see you in another battle report soon. What's up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. If you guys are thinking about joining the Patreon page, we're going to go over each tier and how it's going to benefit you and what you're looking for specifically to get out of 40k in 10th edition coming up. There's a lot of stuff to go over. There's a lot of tactical videos up on the channel, which is for free. There's going to be a bunch of perks that you get specifically for being a part of the Dirtbag Nation Patreon page. So first off, we have the first tier, which is $1 a month. You guys get first access to the videos over at patreon.com. You also get access to the Discord, which is specifically a private link in the Discord that only Patreon members can see. So you guys will have first access to that. Also a benefit is Patreons over the Dirtbag Nation get live streamed games on patreon.com streamed from YouTube, but this only links specifically for the patreons.com. So not only do you get first access to these videos, you also get to see live stream games specifically only on patreon.com. The next tier is the Justicar. You guys get a shout out on every single video on YouTube. You also get to support us a little bit more. You get first dibs at voting on Discord, as well as you just kind of say, hey, I just want to be a Justicar Dirtbag and support you guys a little bit more than that $1 a month tier. But you get all the same access as well as the different color over on the Discord. So the third tier is the competitive Dirtbag. This tier, you get a lot more one-on-one coaching. This is a lot of the Dirtbags over on the Dirtbag Nation. They are able to send out messages one-on-one, go over list ideas, tactics, anything you guys want to talk about. When I was getting into 40K, or really any game in general, I always wanted to message the top players in the meta and just ask them questions. This $10 a month tier gets you that opportunity to message us one-on-one on Discord, so that way we can actually coach you, give you our insights, suggestions, and that's going to get you better at the 40k 10th edition as a whole. So that tier alone, just $10 a month to have one-on-one coaching, one-on-one messages anytime throughout the month, that's going to be a perfect tier for you guys. Even if you're brand new to the game, we go over 1,000-point list, 1,500-point list, 2,000-point brand new starting list, team list, anything you guys need. That's what the competitive Dirtbag tier is for. Also, you get a little bit red number name tag on Discord, so people know that you're really serious about getting into the competitive scene. The Grandmaster Dirtbags. This is the all-in-all $25 a month tier. You get one-on-one coaching, everything we said prior to this, but you guys get to see me, Mike, any of the other Dirtbags play your specific list that you want to see tested out live on one of our battle reports. You guys get to mention, suggest videos you guys want to see coming up on patreon.com. So you guys get the above first tier benefit of everything that we do over at Dirtbag Nation. All the support mainly comes from you guys supporting us over here at Dirtbag Nation. And Grandmasters, I can't thank you enough, but for $25 a month, you get one-on-one coaching and anything you want to see live on the tabletop. So you get to see a professional play right in front of you. You guys get to kind of like see it one-on-one, and I'm actually making this specifically for you. There's also TTS events that you guys can suggest. If you guys want to do a first 1 or 2 turn run through on TTS, we can actually log in and coach you one-on-one with that. If you guys see us at any GTs, you guys get special benefits, free dice, stuff like that. Anytime you purchase a merch thing on Discord, you guys get a free limited edition Dirtbag dice sent to you with every single purchase on top of that. So there's a lot of benefits coming up with the Grandmaster Dirtbag. You guys, I can't thank you enough for supporting us. definitely let me know which tier would be best for you if you go over to patreon.com and specifically go to a tier. And make sure you don't forget to message me up on Discord. That's where we check every single day. If you guys are really into getting into 10th edition 40k, head over to Patreon, join the competitive Dirtbag or the Grandmaster. Message me as many times as you possibly want, and I'll coach you the best I possibly can on any specific army that you guys play. Mainly our armies right now, currently, going into 2024, is going to be Chaos Space Marines, Grey Knights, Death Guard, and then we have Custodes, Sisters, and I think that's it going into the wings of 2024. But again, any other army that you guys play, we have other coaches lined up for the Dirtbags that are ready to take on that role of the competitive Dirtbag page. So guys, really appreciate it. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for joining the Dirtbag Nation if you guys are already part of us. And we'll see you in another video soon.